Okay, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to group objects and duplicate them, and we're actually going to take these different shapes to create patterns. Okay, so looking here in my layer palette, I have a couple ellipses and rectangles on one layer, and I labeled that the shapes layer. To highlight them all, I can grab my selection tool and draw a box around them, and you'll notice that now all of these shapes are highlighted. Okay, and I could come and move them around. I can make them smaller. Okay, but if I kind of clicked away from it and then click back on one shape, I can individually move this one shape. Now, to keep these shapes as a group, I can highlight them all, and over here on the right hand side, right above the T, you'll see that we have this little square. If I click on that, I can go to and click on group. Okay, don't worry about these other ones. I'll explain those other options as well in a further a video later on. I'm going to click group, and you'll notice that in the layer palette it puts them in a group, and I could then just move this whole section. It's keeping it, it's recognizing all these shapes as one complete shape because it's in this group. And again, I can resize it. If I hold on that circle, it will keep the proportions the same. Okay, and so I'm just gonna make it about this size, and after I have a group, what I can do is I can duplicate the layer. Okay, so now I just duplicated this group, and I can move this group over to the side. Okay, so now I have two different groups. They're actually the same design. Okay, and I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna create two more. So I'm gonna select these. I'm going to shrink the size a little bit so I could fit two more on the right hand side, and instead of just duplicating this, I'm gonna actually group this. Again, I could go right here, hit group, but there's also a shortcut key right here, and that groups it as well. So now these two shapes are grouped as one, and I'm gonna hit duplicate and just bring that over here to the left. And I'm going to fit all these on the width of the page, and then I'm gonna start to duplicate these towards the bottom to create my pattern. So I'm gonna group, and I'm gonna duplicate, and I can bring this straight down. And let's do that one more time. I'm going to group, duplicate, and bring it straight down. So that's just the quicker way to do it. Looks like I could probably fit one more. What I can do is I can click on an individual group now, and then hit duplicate, and it'll just copy that original group. Okay, so now I have my pattern. I can highlight all this, and I can group all this as one layer. Okay, let's look at our layer palette. I have my shapes layer, and then I have layer one. If I actually want to create a background, I could work on layer one, and if layer one was actually above this, I'll show you what would happen. I'm gonna take my rectangle tool, and I'm gonna draw a rectangle on the background, and I'm gonna fill it with a gradient. So I'm gonna click my fill option, go to gradient. There's different gradient options. I'm gonna use this linear gradient, and I'm gonna pick a color, maybe like a yellowish to maybe an orange. You can pick whatever color you want to fill in. I can adjust where I want to place it. I'll go more of a red-orange. And now I have my background. I could get rid of my stroke line. Maybe I don't need that in the background. And now I have my beautiful pattern. with a colorful background, and you can see my layer 1. If I want to just bring this above my shape layer, it hides it. Okay, so the ways layers work is if I bring it below, it's gonna push it further back on the screen. If it's towards the top, it's gonna bring it closer to us. And that's how layers work, and that's how grouping works. Go ahead, give that a try, and then once you're done, what we can do is we could submit it. To do that, you can click on this little arrow facing up and hit publish and export. We're going to save it as a PNG, so hit export. And then all you have to do is save image, and that's going to put it into your photo album. So if I actually went to my photos, you can see that document right there. All you have to do is upload that to Schoology. Feel free to call me in your room if you have any questions.